We have 5 minutes for us, so let's do this. Today we're going to be talking about, you guessed it, sex! I was inspired to talk about sex, specifically sex education, after watching an episode of Last Week Tonight where John Oliver really focused on sex education in America. I was shocked to find out that only 22 states legally mandate sex education in schools, and out of those 22 states, only 13 require that the information be medically accurate. It's like, the fuck? What do you mean? That would be like, I don't know, going into school and having your teachers telling you, Nugget, who by the way is my beautiful, fluffy, amazing cat, Nugget was the first president of the United States. As much as I love Nugget, he definitely was not alive hundreds of years ago. TBH, it was kind of terrifying to see what's being taught in some of these sex ed classes. Now, I can only speak from experience here, so I'm going to tell you about my personal experience with sex education in school. I grew up in Southern California, and for me, sex education began in the 4th grade. They would separate the girls from the boys, and each group would watch their sex ed videos. The girls learned about their periods, what a period is, and all the things that come along with your period, and then they lightly dabbled in sexual urges. So slight that I wasn't even really sure what they were talking about. Up until 8th grade, we saw sex ed videos, and they worked up gradually. So we started off with the period, they touch a little bit on sexual urges, and then in 5th grade, they talk about the period again, a little bit more about sex. In 6th grade, they talk way more about sex. 7th grade, definitely way more. 8th grade, you've seen babies being born. As an adult looking back on my sex ed experience in school, I think that I was very lucky because I did learn a lot from the sex ed videos that we were shown in school, and the schools that I went to didn't heavily push abstinence. They did talk about it, but they also talked about contraceptives, how to put on a condom, etc., etc. So I think that I was informed along with my classmates. Do I think this system was flawless and perfect? No way. First of all, why did the guys and the girls have to be separated? Because that automatically makes everyone feel like this is something we can't talk about, this is something that's embarrassing, and I also just think it would be educational to have everyone see the same video so everyone knows what's gonna be going on with everyone else's bodies, because it happens to all of us. I feel really lucky that the schools that I went to presented multiple options, so we knew the options that were available to us and what would fit our lifestyle. For example, in summer school in 7th grade, we were all taught how to put on condoms, but that's not something that's even legal in some states. But there's a really creative video that a sex ed teacher made using his shoes and socks and never saying the word condom or anything sexual. Props to that teacher, because that just goes to show that he wants his students to be well informed and safe. After watching that episode of Last Week Tonight, I feel lucky to have had pretty good sex education, especially because so many people aren't getting sex education. I know people who are adults now who had zero sex ed growing up. It's something that they felt shameful about growing up, and then when they reached adulthood, it's something that they feel uncomfortable talking to their partners about, to their friends about, and it just instills general insecurity, which just makes me sad, because sex is something that if you want to experience it, you should be able to enjoy it and be safe if you decide to have sex. And if you don't decide to have sex, that should be okay too, and other people shouldn't make you feel bad about it. I'm not an expert in the sex ed world, so that's why I'm going to defer to someone who is an expert and who is certified, Lacey Green. She has a YouTube channel that is amazing. I've been watching it for years, and she really goes in depth into multiple subjects. If you're curious about sex, if you want to learn more about sex, I will link her channel down below. Thank God for the internet, am I right? It's times like this where I just am so thankful that channels like Lacey's exist, because I didn't have those kind of resources growing up. My friends who got zero sex ed didn't have those kind of resources. So how lucky are we that Lacey and other people like Lacey exist. That is gonna be it for today. If you have any comments on sex ed, leave those comments down below, because TBH, I found it really startling to learn that only 22 states legally mandate sex ed. And then of those, only 13 require the information to be medically accurate. Those two things just keep circling in my brain. I want to leave you guys with a hug, hope, and hopefully the desire to learn and keep yourselves safe. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!